In terms of purchasing land, we find that going to a real estate agent, if you start explaining to them what you're looking for, that I want some junky land that doesn't cost me anything, real estate agents are
They lose some interest right there, right? There's not a whole lot of a commission on junky land that doesn't cost very much.
So I'm not sure that real estate agents are a particularly helpful way to. I mean, you may find somebody, you may find a real estate agent that's your friend or neighbor or something like that that can help you.
The other thing is that land, it's possible to make a homestead on land that would not even be offered in that way for sale, right? You see, you know how you're driving down the road and you see the sign that says 71 acres undeveloped or whatever, and what they really mean is there's a hunk of junk land over here I have title to, and if somebody will offer me money for it, I'll part with it. That's not something your real estate agent is going to take you out to look at, but it might make a great farm.
Yeah, scouring the want ads is great. We had a piece of property that we thought was going to be the perfect piece of property, and it fell through. And so then our neighbors said to us, well, have you seen the want ads? There's 16 acres with a house for $11,000. And we said, yeah, I know what that looks like.
We figured it was a house made out of cardboard sitting next to the city dump, right? That's what we were picturing.
But that was in the want ads. And so we finally went to go see it, and it ended up being the piece of land that we bought. But they're out there. So scour the want ads, sheriff's auctions, Craigslist, all of those different places where somebody might put up land that they just want to get rid of, auctions. We really think that's...
If you live in a small town, there are people like your mechanic, the postmistress.
Word of mouth, absolutely.
The veterinarian. You just get the word out there. Also, cold call. Drive them down roads. When you see something that looks abandoned, go down to the courthouse, or these days you can do it online, I think. Look up who owns it and just cold call them. I see you have 7.5 acres on County Road 46 you're not using. Have you thought about selling it?
I was just talking to another friend of ours who a piece of the property across the road from him sold, but there were 4 acres next to it, and he said he can't get anybody to buy it. And I thought, why isn't he getting anybody to buy it? It's not that bad of land. Well, there's a possible dump coming into that area, and I'm not sure how many people want to live next to a dump, but here's 4 acres that's probably going to sell really cheaply, and maybe the dump isn't going to go in. And so
now, some things that you do want to do is get some history on land.
That's good.
So friends of ours bought 10 acres. It was cheap because turns out the power company was about to run a conveyor belt for carrying fly ash right off the side of it. Now that it's worked for them, they're okay, but that's something, if you know what your limits are, I would never live near a fill in the blank. And then check out the history a little. Another place that sold recently is downstream for another fly ash dump. It is fortunately upwind, so maybe there's not going to be a contamination issue. But if it looks like it's too good a deal to be true, investigate. One thing that'll drive the price way up is if the previous owner has left after doing some sort of environmental damage that the owner is required to remediate. You buy it, you're now the owner, you're required to remediate it. So just things to look into.
But we say buy junk land, buy edge land. That's certainly what our farm was. Our farm was part of a much bigger farm, and all the pieces had gotten cut off.
It was a piece nobody wanted.
And that's why it was as cheap as it was.